In part 1 we covered using the projector effect to turn still images into 3D environments. Today we're going to look at a very different use for the effect. I'm Simon Jones from hitfilm.com, and this shot also started out as a still image. The animation of the water was added in HitFilm. Let's take a look at how it was made. Here's the original photo taken by Ksenia Kudokina and made available for free at unsplash.com. And yes, I've almost certainly mispronounced that name, so many apologies. Unsplash.com is another stock image website you need to bookmark. In fact, while we're at it, bookmark the stocks.im because it collates several of these free stock websites and is awesome. So the water behaviour is created using the pond ripples effect, which has actually been in HitFilm since version 1. I've heavily customised its appearance, but if I reset it to the defaults, you can see how the ripples are actually aligned correctly with the water's surface in the photo. This is something which wasn't really possible before the projector effect existed. This is because the pond ripples effect defaults to being flat on to camera. This is great if you're looking straight down at a body of water or if you're doing some kind of title motion graphics type shot, but it's not very useful if you need to align the ripples to an arbitrarily angled surface in your shot. And this is where the projector comes in. So grab the project files and let's take it from the top. First up, import the still image. I'm going to rename it to main image so I can keep track of it, and then I'm going to create a new composite shot. The easiest way to do this is to right click the image in the media panel and simply choose make composite shot. I'm going to set the duration to 5 seconds as it doesn't need to be any longer than that, but the rest I can just leave as is. I might just give it its own title as well. Okay, I'm now going to create a new plane from the new layer menu down on the timeline. I'm going to set it to 4096 by 3112, which will give us as much resolution as possible. The colour of the plane doesn't really matter because we're going to be projecting onto it. I'm going to set this new plane to be 3D. Now don't forget you can go to the effects panel, find the grid effect and slap it on so that you can check the orientation more accurately while you work. That was something I did in part 1 of the projector tutorials. Okay, I'm now going to go to the transform properties of this layer and rotate it around 90 degrees on the x-axis. That means it's flat on to camera. Then I'm going to use the controls in the viewer to move the layer down until it's roughly in position. For a shot like this, it doesn't actually need to be super accurate. Right, I'm now going to remove that grid effect because we don't actually need it to be there, and it's just going to clutter things up and get in the way. I'm then going to go up to the effects library and search for projector. Once I've got that, I will add it onto the plane. What we actually want to do here is project the photo onto the plane. So in the projector's properties, I'll set the projection from option to use that main image layer. We now have a 3D plane with the image projected onto it. You'll note I haven't actually set up the camera for this projector effect because it's not required for the shot. We're not moving the camera around. If you've got something where you do want to be moving your camera and creating a more complex 3D environment, make sure you check out part 1 of our projector tutorials because that's got lots of information on setting up that kind of shot. Okay, I can now add pond ripples to the plane, and the ripples will be correctly aligned with the water's surface. It's vital that you add pond ripples below the projector effect on the layer. The interesting thing here is that the pond ripples are acting on the projection, creating the required displacement, but the actual projection itself isn't affected by the orientation of the layer. So if I rotate the plane layer around, you can see that the pond ripples remain perfectly aligned with whatever the angle of the 3D plane is, but the projection is always projected flat onto the layer from the camera's point of view, regardless of whatever the plane's angle is. Takes a little while to get your head around it, but it's super useful. For this particular shot, I created a duplicate of the image and masked out the area where the water was. This duplicate layer was then placed on top of the water layer. This ensured that the pond ripples can only be seen on the water's surface, and not on any of the machinery. This combination means that effects like pond ripples can now be added to any angled surface once you've set up a projected plane like this. Similarly, you can use this exact technique to apply other distortion-based effects like rain on glass to oblique surfaces like a pane of glass that's in a shot. That's about all there is to this particular technique, but it's really useful and it breathes new life into some of our older effects. So in part 3 we're going to be taking a look at a completely different use for projector again, which is removing items from moving shots. Okay, many thanks for watching.